Hi everyone, it's been a while. Since my last video update was in November of last year, this is a very late update concerning my bees. How did they all do last winter? Well, not so well. Since I had 9 beehives last summer, I suffered from a huge loss over the winter. By that fall, I lost 3 hives, 1 to disease and 1 to mites. I can't remember what happened to the third one, but it was sad nonetheless. The ironic thing is that the hive that suffered from mites had a mite-resistant cornelian queen in it, plus the recommended amount of HopGuard 2 mite strips for the number of bees that were in the hive. So I guess don't count on mite-resistant queens being mite-resistant too much. She went from being a very strong layer to a very spotty layer within a month of installing her into the hive. And most of the brood that were sealed had at least 4 mites on every single one of them. And I guess if you use HopGuard 2 for your own bees, applying the strips before the mites get bad is probably the best. Out of the 4 hives I had near Oregon City, 2 were severely weakened from the yellow jackets and didn't survive the winter, unfortunately. And of the 2 hives I have here at my place, the little gray one is the one that survived the winter. That hive, we don't know what happened to the bees yet in that. There were no dead bees on the ground or anywhere on the bottom board or anywhere in the frames of comb at all. There's plenty of honey in there. The neighborhood bees have been robbing that out a lot. There's still some honey in it though, but no dead bees anywhere in the hive, and yet the hive was completely empty of bees. Not a single bee in the hive and not a single dead bee on the ground anywhere. So we think they probably swarmed somewhere during the winter, and hopefully they found a better place to stay instead of flying for a little bit, hanging out on a tree branch, and then freezing to death. So what is my overall plan for my bees this year? Well, my goal is to hopefully raise over 6 strong bee colonies before fall. Yellow jacket activity around my hives is going to be monitored more carefully, especially now that I have seen what they can do to a beehive. Varroa mites will be checked more than I usually check. I treat for mites every year, but I wasn't as concerned about mites since these were younger and fresh beehives I was working with in the previous years. But now the hives are 1 to 2 years old, so there's going to be some mites to watch out for in them. I'm going to be more focused on growing my bee yard than honey production, because if you're constantly splitting your beehives up to make more nukes and more hives, you're not going to get much honey yield from that. Also, I have some projects lined up for the next time I have free time to do it. I'm going to be making some mason bee houses, and I have some pieces of steel to be welded into a beehive hoist. That's a project that has been put off for quite a while because I haven't had much time to do it, but now I really need it. So you might see the building of that pretty soon. So that's what we're going to be looking at for this year. I hope you enjoy, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button since that helps. Thank you so much, and God bless.